In the heart of Central America, where the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans are separated by just a sliver of land, lies one of the most strategic waterways in the world, the Panama Canal. It connects the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans, saving ships thousands of miles on their journey. But this impressive feat of engineering wasn't just a wonder of the modern world. It became a powerful symbol of geopolitical influence. Today, the Panama Canal remains crucial for global trade, and for the United States, its control and access have been a matter of national interest for over a century. The idea of a canal through the Isthmus of Panama dates back to the 16th century. Spanish explorers led by Vasco Núñez de Balboa first identified the potential shortcut between the oceans. But it wasn't until the 19th century that serious attempts were made to turn this dream into reality. Early efforts were plagued by disease, harsh conditions, and political obstacles. In the 1880s, the French, under the leadership of Ferdinand de Lesseps, famous for building the Suez Canal, tried to tackle the project. But despite his fame, de Lesseps faced enormous challenges. Tropical diseases like malaria and yellow fever wiped out a large portion of the workforce. Financial troubles led to the collapse of the French effort, leaving the Panama Canal unfinished. In 1904, it was the United States under President Theodore Roosevelt that took on the task. The United States had long understood the strategic importance of controlling a waterway through the Americas. By this point, the United States had grown in both military and economic power, and securing the canal would allow American ships to move more freely between the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Roosevelt's vision for the canal was about more than just trade. It was about American dominance in global affairs. The canal would give the United States quicker access to both oceans, which was critical for military mobility and national security. But the project didn't come easy. Thousands of workers from around the world, including many West Indians, endured grueling conditions. The deadly diseases that had thwarted the French still posed a major threat, but American engineers, led by John Stevens and later George Goethals, managed to conquer them through better sanitation and innovative engineering. After a decade of intense labor, the Panama Canal was completed in 1914. It was an engineering marvel, a 50-mile-long shortcut that allowed ships to bypass the perilous journey around the southern tip of South America. With its opening, global trade would never be the same. The canal instantly became a vital lifeline for the United States as well as for the world economy. But beyond commerce, the canal was of strategic military importance. During World War II, the canal allowed the United States Navy to quickly mobilize forces between the Atlantic and Pacific theaters, a crucial advantage during the war. The United States understood that controlling the Panama Canal meant controlling access to both hemispheres, and that was something no global power could ignore. In 1977, President Jimmy Carter and Panama's leader Omar Torrijos signed the Panama Canal Treaty, which set the stage for the eventual transfer of the canal to Panama by 1999. This historic decision was a symbol of respect for Panama's sovereignty. The treaty was controversial, with many Americans fearing it would undermine U.S. influence in the region, but it was clear that the U.S. was willing to recognize Panama's right to control its own territory. And so, in 1999, the Panama Canal was officially handed over to Panama. This marked the end of nearly a century of U.S. control, but the canal's importance to global trade remained unchanged. Even though the U.S. no longer held direct control, the canal continued to be a critical part of America's commercial and military interests. Today, the Panama Canal is still one of the busiest and most important waterways in the world. Over 12,000 ships pass through it each year, and about 5% of global trade relies on its route. For the United States, the canal remains a lifeline for transporting goods to and from Asia, Latin America, and Europe. In recent years, there has been renewed conversation about the United States' role in the Panama Canal. As president seeks to reassert control over the canal.
If the principles, both moral and legal, of this magnanimous gesture of giving are not followed, then we will demand that the Panama Canal be returned to the United States of America in full, quickly, and without question.
The Panama Canal is not just an economic asset, it's a strategic military choke point. During times of conflict, having quick and unrestricted access to both oceans could provide a crucial advantage. As the United States competes with rising powers like China and Russia, controlling or influencing critical infrastructure like the Panama Canal could once again be seen as essential. Though Panama officially controls the canal today, its global importance hasn't diminished. In a world where access to critical resources and trade routes can dictate the balance of power, the Panama Canal remains a key piece in the puzzle of global geopolitics. For the United States, its legacy is undeniable and its future uncertain. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more deep dives into history and geopolitics. What do you think? Should the United States take back control of the Panama Canal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.